Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. And today I have another guest in the Realm News studio. But this is not a new guest. You know this person very well by now. It is my brother, the Sun King, and also the artist of Realm News, the person that makes those amazing covers for the show. And today we are discussing artificial intelligence, specifically over the new AI generative video game called Oasis that came out on Halloween this year with a demo. We will be discussing that, and I will be asking the Sun King his thoughts on artificial intelligence in gaming and how he feels about it threatening content creators and artists across the world. So, without further ado, let's start the show, folks. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Realm News. I would like to introduce to you all the Sun King, my brother, and the artist who creates all the amazing cover art for Realm News. Back to the show. For those of you who have been listening to Realm News for a while, then you are very familiar with my brother, the Sun King, or Sam Howard. And for those of you who are new to him, well, here he is. Sam, welcome back.
Hey, great to be back, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you can come back on because I have a topic today that you are very passionate about, to say the least.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to say the least.
yeah,
And I know that I've been on an AI kick lately here on Realm News, but because I released that Realm News Flash, when was that? The beginning of November. And that was over after, in response to Oasis being released by Descartes and Etch, those two AI companies in that joint venture. And I talked to you a little bit through texting you about that game,
yeah.
Sam, and I had you I I forced you to play that, and
You did.
anyways, that's why I
It's
brought you to this show because you are an opponent to I should say, right?
yes, yeah,
Tell me where you stand when it comes to AI so people have a, you know, general
sure.
consensus of all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, as an artist, it's someone who writes and draws his own books. I'm a strong opponent of AI generated art and writing and music and kind of the commodification of creativity. I don't see any benefit in it whatsoever. I don't see any creativity involved in AI art or art generation or text generation even. I just think it's not beneficial, I don't think, to humanity. I think it's ultimately kind of robbing us of a key component, which is creativity. And also it's doing it in the effort of commodification for content and just in the effort of making of robbing people who would create this sort of content of job opportunities and things like this. I don't see any benefit, and I'm an opponent of it.
Well, you're definitely not alone. I would say that every artist that I know and seen on, let's say, Twitter and Blue Sky, I've all been opposed to AI, and I'm a content creator too, and I stated my opinions and on that in that Realm News Flash on AI,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
don't
on
think
your
anybody.
side.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that creates, not even for a living, but just for as a passion or a hobby, or spends their time writing or drawing or painting or making jewelry or pottery or anything like that. I don't think anybody that participates in that is a proponent of AI just because they understand the value and what it means to create something yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just it's been around for a while now, and it's hard for me to find any benefit in it. Uh, just because, I mean, purely out of the means of there's no benefit other than perhaps to a very few amount of people. Uh, Other people, I don't want to disparage anybody, of course, or their opinions, but I think if you are a proponent of AI, art generation or text generation or anything like that, music generation, I think it's like most things that work against humanity's interests. You got sold a lie, and marketed something that isn't beneficial to humanity as a whole. But you were kind of, you know, fooled in that way. It's not a way to, like, it's not the future of art. It's certainly not anything that will expand humanity's creativity in any way that's worthwhile whatsoever. Um, and further, I mean, if you think about anything that you've ever enjoyed, as far as what we could cynically now call content, you know, a TV show, a song, a video game, a book, was created by a person. That's the fountain that we all draw from of human creativity and imagination and ingenuity is all man-made, and rightfully so. It came from someone's brain, it came from someone's perspective that can't be quantified into numbers as much as we'd like to, or as interesting of a challenge as that would be for scientists or AI engineers. It can't be done. Uh,
No,
and
not yet, anyways.
not yet, and I don't know that it ever will be able to. Just because, like I said, if you think about anything, I mean, look at Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, right? He took a great effort to recognize throughout myths and history and storytelling common tropes, right? So he, to a degree, when he discovered this and wrote, I think it's The Hero with Many Faces, he sort of quantified what is human storytelling. But then when we have something beautiful that breaks the hero's journey, or as a story told without using those tropes, that's something that's not quantifiable by those limits. So I think trying to mathematically break that down is really underselling what the human imagination is capable of, which again is creating everything everyone's ever enjoyed has been created by humanity. As far as, like I said, cynically content, but entertainment wise or art wise or any type of architecture, that all comes from the human mind, that all comes from human imagination. And it's just not something I don't think will ever be able to quantify using a series of computer banks. Also, just environmentally, it's not feasible to do that. And to what end is it achieving? You know, it seems, you know,
Yeah,
like social media commodifying the human interaction or social interactions. Like, what are we achieving by making a shortcut for this type of thing? It seems nominal at best. And at worst, it's robbing people of their will to create things, you know?
yeah. No, I agree. There's been I don't know, it's interesting to see where it's all going and how it's affecting society. Now, I'd like to ask you about this demo that I told you to play called Oasis, which is a fully generative video,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence video that I mentioned was created by Etched and Descartes, these two companies that specialize in AI. Etched being on the hardware side, Descartes, the software. And could you go ahead and tell me your experience with that in just from the beginning to the end? What I know that they give you 5 types of maps you can choose from. Could you explain which one you chose? Because you're also you also have been playing Minecraft forever, so you're a good person to be able to compare the 2, which
Yeah.
it's easy to compare the 2 because they're drastically different in quality.
Yeah,
Walk me through your
yeah.
experience, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'll say there's no comparison. Minecraft is vastly superior to this experiment. So, yeah, you sent me this. I kind of dragged my feet on playing it just because I have Minecraft, so I wasn't super interested in booting up a worse version of that. But this morning I sat down and I played a little 5-minute demo of it. Has Etched and Descartes done anything else, or is this their first attempt at something? Do you
I'm
know?
not I'm not quite sure. I didn't really look too far into their history. Last night I got online and found out that Descartes is, I believe, an Israeli based company.
Okay.
And I think they've done some work in the past in artificial intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Etched, from doing my research, they claim to be the first company to specifically create computer chips, or I should say just chips. But these chips are the first to be specific towards artificial intelligence, such as large language models, but these specifically towards video generative technology. Because
Okay.
artificial intelligence has came up to a wall. And from what I've also read from a great article on NPR, I believe I read
Nice.
that today, that artificial intelligence pretty much already absorbed the entire internet and it can't learn anymore
Yeah,
until we add more. And so there's
exactly.
arguments saying that it can't really get much better until it can start creating its own content, which is a long ways off. But it looks like Etched really want who is developing who was like one of the first. Let me get back to that. The first to start going into the chips and manufacturing and developing these chips is
Interesting.
just now produced the Sohu chip, which is used to make this or operate this demo called Oasis that you played. And
Interesting.
that's pretty much a test before they release it. And
Okay.
they're just going to keep improving upon Oasis. It sounds from what I've read that Oasis isn't going anywhere.
Which
And I
I
think
mean,
they plan on going into more, but it sounds like Etch, like, or their main goal is they want to capture and lead AI when it comes to video generative, like all sorts, like video calls, which I don't understand how that would work with AI. Like, but video calls,
interesting.
like, what would be a purpose? Because once you just want to see who you're talking to, why would you need? I guess I'm missing something there. Like video calls, anything. Like they want to own at least by the end of the decade, 90% of all video traffic will
I'm
be
sure.
AI generative
I
or
mean,
generative AI,
sure.
which
But then
which
see
I'm sure they will. But
what's the point is actually a great
well,
question.
money,
Well,
that's
I
always
mean,
the
but
point.
that's the point. But that brings me around the same. That's a good question. That I asked that question of AI in general, considering the amount of problems humanity and the world sort of shares. What is the point of having an image generator technology or focusing so much money on it? It's to make money. I mean, there's no other reason that we're focusing all this
Well, a lot of
scientific
people were
effort
saying
into it.
online when this demo first released, and I discovered it when people were posting all about it on Twitter, right?
Right.
that everybody was saying this is a cash grab for these companies. It's like obviously not quality at all. Actually, can we
No.
get back to you playing this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no.
describe like from the opening. Did it have you wait in that waiting room for a little bit, like on their webpage?
So mine kind of booted up right away.
Oh
I'm
wow.
playing on a Lenovo, like one of those convertible idea pads, I guess. So it's not like a gaming laptop or anything super fancy like that. So it was just kind of a small screen in the middle of the website.
Same.
So it started off a really jittery, low resolution version of Minecraft Plains biome. I clicked the village outpost map, but it
Okay.
was a really jittery, just low resolution and super slow version of what you can find in Minecraft. I moved around a little and I walked around. I knocked out a block. I
Yeah,
moved
tell me
towards it.
about that.
It just was slow to respond. I mean, it just wasn't.
Yeah, did it
Uh,
I couldn't figure out how to break blocks. Like sometimes they would break, sometimes they wouldn't.
yeah, I managed to break a dirt block, but there's already things in my inventory. I couldn't quite figure out how
Yeah.
to move through the inventory and look at what I had. So I walked towards a forest. I turned around. Well, I did a 360. It was a plains biome. There's a mountain off in the distance, and
Yeah.
then there's a forest on another side. So I walked towards the forest. I then turned around, and all of a sudden there was mountains and stones behind me, and a bunch of planks on the ground. And then I turned around, and the forest was gone, and there was a closer dirt like hill with some trees on it where the forest was. Yeah, and that's about as much as I really got done. It was really random and uninteresting. Don't I don't understand the appeal just because it's outside of my opinions on AI, it just seemed like a really bad game. I didn't understand the point. The landscape was shifting, everything was jittery, it was super slow.
A lot of people said to me that it's amazing and revolutionary because of the technology behind it, that it can do what it can do. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I get that it's going to keep evolving. I mean, what would you say if that was 100% same graphics as Minecraft? What would you say then?
I mean, out okay, if it was as fast as Minecraft and the graphics were the same and it wasn't as jittery, but things were still randomly popping out of nowhere, it would suck. It would suck. It would still be bad to me.
It has a
Part of the
nickname.
fun of it is like, and Minecraft already randomly generates a seed, and the human hand you can see behind. This is the whole thing: is that we've already achieved this using human hands, using human creativity to automate it. I just going from using horses as a mode of transportation to cars was a logical leap, or trains. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
was something that revolutionized transportation. Going from something that we've achieved with human creativity to the exact same thing but worse, in the hopes that it will get a little bit better but will cut out people needing to create things, does it just doesn't make any sense to me.
That
It's
was
not
my argument too, but
Yeah, it's
some
not a leap
people on
forward, it's a leap sideways or backwards even, because why are we cutting out human creativity, period? It's just to commodify
well,
it and to
people
make
say
less
that's just
people
you're not seeing
want it.
the bigger picture, people would tell me online when I said that,
Which
saying that
is
I suppose it's just this is a necessary step for this technology to progress. I don't know, this is
but why are we progressing? The whole point is, why are we progressing technology? Like, again, going from
well,
a horse to a train makes sense. You get things done faster, you can transport more. Doing this, I don't. understand. We're achieving exactly what we've already achieved. Making a video game. Mojang created Minecraft. It's a great game. It's an amazing game. A lot of humans contributed to it, human creativity. I mean, even the creeper, you know, was made from like a human bungle and he accepted it.
Mhm. Yes.
So it's just a leap sideways and backwards. It's not, I mean, who cares? That to me is the ultimate thing. It seems so cynical to want to remove people from the process entirely. I just don't understand there's too many negatives in the bracket for me to really be enthused about a computer just compiling what mathematically broken down as the idea of human creativity. It's I don't know. It doesn't make I don't understand the
It
point.
says on their, I think both of their blogs, each of these companies' blogs, that the game, this AI generative algorithm, whatever, learned from millions of hours of Minecraft content. Now, somebody asked a really great question on Twitter that I talked about when I came out with this initially in Realm News Flash, and that where was this content sourced from? Was it your own content that it was studying or others? Where did it get this? And I thought that was a great question. How does
Yeah.
that make you feel to know that what you were in, that that blob, that highly distilled, not I even know, that blurry, pixelated in nightmarish environment after millions of hours of other people's content, that's what it churned out. How does that make you feel? And
I
I
mean,
guarantee, I can almost guarantee that they didn't have permission to obtain
no.
that data to for it to
No.
study.
No, but they have money, so that won't ever be an issue for
Yeah,
them.
I think they
I
were
think it's
funded
soulless.
around over $20 million. I think that was Descartes,
Makes sense. They
somebody.
technology wise, we've plateaued to a degree. TVs aren't going to become
VR
anything
was
more
saying that
than
too.
yeah. I mean, TVs aren't going to become anything more than they are. They're just flatter and better resolution. Computers, we managed to put one in a pocket. That's great. What was the last technological leap on that? The touch screen. I don't see us getting beyond the touch screen. I mean, to what? They've been trying
Now they
the
have these
meta
little
glasses
tags,
thing.
AI tags. Did you get that?
VR still is always just a cute like novelty compared to playing a regular video game. It's just they're looking for the next thing in order to grow their capital. And that's the system that we have. For good or ill. I mean, it's won't get into that, but
So you don't see any pros
I
to
really don't. It just seems
AI at
soulless
all
to no, I mean, I think it should
in
be used in
medicine or
terms of like they used it for like learning dead languages and stuff. That's an interesting way to use that as a tool. Helping with medical research, that's beneficial.
spot diseases.
Sure, yeah. Um, I mean, I've even at my work, I've worked with people in leadership team, just like helping write emails and things. And then they'll plug it into Chat GPT to see if it's good, and Chat GPT will offer very little suggestions just because you know we've already written the procedure or what we're reworking. We've already
Mhm.
worked on it, and I just don't see a benefit in that area of using it for human creativity. I think we could use it for technical things.
Do you see any benefits to it being applied in video games? If not, not saying wholly generating the entire thing from end to end, but helping it enhance certain game aspects.
No, Not at
No,
all.
not at all. You don't think, where they, uh, non-player characters
Yeah,
in
not at
game,
all.
nothing?
I see that as, well, like yours and mine favorite video games, even before Minecraft. Like we liked open world, like Elder Scrolls Oblivion,
Yeah.
Fallout 3, remember? Those were all hand placed, scripted dialogue, and it was really magical to us, and is still really, a beautiful and great games. To me, like any benefit to having like randomly generated dialogue or something that is soulless and wasn't written by a person. Also, to me, I cannot get around the fact that that has robbed someone from a creative job. You know,
Yeah.
someone voice acting it, someone writing it,
Yes.
someone animating it, someone designing those characters. That part is so crucial to me that I can't ignore it in the effort of it being random, or like new. Loses all of its sort of shine just
Mhm.
because it can be random now. Well, break that down. All you're doing is robbing someone of a creative job, and it's still something that was generated and fed to a machine or
Mhm.
machine learning software or whatever that was created by engineers and is still based in humanity. It's just something that doesn't need to be commodified, in my opinion. It's something that should be valued more. People should be paid better for doing it. I mean, you can even look at like Marvel movies. In Marvel, I know with one of their TV shows, they AI generated the opening like introduction sequence.
I read something else too
Yeah. And I've
about
heard
them using AI to enhance their faces for emotions more. I was like,
yeah,
"What?" And
which you
you
could just
told me, brother,
say,
because I read about this also in I think the same article about The Irishman.
yes.
How how and you were I never watched it, but I know I saw an ad for it, and I could tell from the ad he looked like an AI person in that movie, but
Well, that
De
movie came out a
Niro
while
looked
ago.
weird.
I don't know if that was AI, but it didn't look
No, that's what
good.
it said. He was AI.
Did?
Yeah, to make him look younger.
No. Yeah, it wasn't good. I'm a fan of in movies in particular, I'm a fan of just like hire a younger actor to play a younger version of the character. And that way you're generating more jobs, Like the idea that we want to rob people of jobs or of money making opportunities is wrong to me, especially when it's unnecessary. Like the automation of creativity is unnecessary. And I've heard the argument that, like, to get it back around to, they showed it thousands of hours of people playing Minecraft in order to train it
Millions
to do this.
of
Billions.
videos.
Sure. People have argued in the most cynical way, and I think in a way that is misunderstood, that the way AI generators, or deep learning, we should say, because they're not true artificial intelligence, deep learning software learns is how people's brains learn. Like I can, read a book and then write a book that's similar to that book. You know what I mean? Is the
All it
cynical
can
art.
do is copy and then mishmash and regurgitate. That's it.
Exactly.
When
And
you
the
sum it
argument
up,
I've
it's not like how you read a book at all, because how you read a book, you get a feeling. It can't
exactly.
do anything. It copies, cross compares, makes a resemblance of something. Does a
Exactly.
does a good job. Some of these make some realistic looking things, but it's when I was playing this Oasis game, it was the definition of uncanny valley to me, and I said that in that episode, but I don't know if you got that too, but it made me just feel weird that I was playing this And Minecraft's not even a realistic game anyway, so it's weird to feel uncanny valley vibes with something that's not even portrayed to be realistic, but this doing its best to rip off this game was just creepy to me. I was like, "What is this?" This is like it was just weird.
Yeah, it's creepy and it's like I said, wholly unnecessary. You have Minecraft, which is an amazing game and randomly generated but created by people.
Wholly
And
unnecessary unless you're trying to get some money,
that's it always comes back to that. There's anybody who is a proponent of this
and it
type
was
of
a first
technology,
of its kind, believe it or not.
I believe it. Well, even I mean, just for an inroads to people who are still skeptical about our opinions against AI, Google, the search engine, used to, I'm not even going to try and describe how it works because I don't really understand it, but it was something reliable that we could then look and check many different search results, right? And then AI became popular, and all of a sudden the top search results are now always going to be our AI generated, and those are sometimes false. You can see those famous examples of like I saw a screenshot, someone typed in like how to make Alfredo sauce thicker, and it said add Elmer's glue because it had been pulling off of Reddit, and it learned off of
Well,
Reddit.
listen to this, bro, because I have one for you. This one used glue, but it told somebody to use it in to make pizza sauce.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And also, AI told people that ingesting rocks was healthy.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane. But see,
And
this
guess
is
what?
like
Wait. Sorry. Let me throw out this. I guess these are called hallucinations when it gives you these inaccuracies. But these hallucinations these occur according to this NPR article, 10 Reasons Why AI May Be Overrated by Greg Rosowski, that these hallucinations occur between 3 to 27% of the time. So so you may be getting over a quarter percent of your information from AI might be an hallucination or just an inaccuracy. That is just it's not its fault because they don't even understand.
no,
It's called the black box. They don't know the inner workings of their own creation. That's also
no.
a scary thing about it. A lot of these engineers and software engineers can tell you they can't describe how it comes to its own conclusion. That's the scary thing. We're getting answers from something that can't be discernible. We
Well, and
can't understand it.
that's the thing. It doesn't understand us.
It's
It's
trying.
but here's the thing. That level of proliferation on something that's been so heavily used that it's its own verb. Like, did you Google that or can you
Yeah.
Google that? This should, like I said, to people who are still skeptical of our opinions on AI, just consider the fact that Google search engine worked so well for people that it became a verb in our language in modern parlance, that because of the profit they saw in this new technology and how popular it was becoming, or the thought that it would become popular, and the fact that Google is such a monolith, it can just buy things now, bought, this technology, and then they just deployed it. They wanted a piece of the pie that badly that they just would deploy it and then make it integral to their search engine when it's telling people to eat rocks sometimes, like the
Well, that was Chat GBT.
sure. Similar thought process though is that the ones that I was talking about were from Google search AI. That the thought process is purely profit based. It's all capital based. It's a race to have technology so that they can grow their corporations larger, and that ties back into this game. Like, that's why I asked you if Etched or Descartes had done anything else with this technology, and you're telling me that They're pretty much created and banking on making AI video content and becoming the sole marketer of that because that's what they project to be the biggest growth for what they're trying to do. It's
Yeah, that's the
they're not
market
thinking
they're
of it as a
in.
benefit. Similar to, I would say, Steve Jobs wouldn't let his kids have an iPhone. You know, he understood Zuckerberg not allowing his kids on Facebook. You know, they understand the human response to these types of things and how addicting they are. It doesn't matter if they think it's beneficial. They know that they can make a lot of money doing it because that response and then the feeling you get from that response is going to lead you to use the product more. And that's all that this is it's just a way to cut out a lot of having to pay people to do creative work and to commodify it and streamline it and create
Yeah,
content
I agree. That's
for
why I
consumption.
that's why I'm against it too. This particular, I'm all for AI when it comes to the stems. I think like it's great for organization stuff, like your grocery list and stuff like that. Um,
Yes.
and but but when it comes to content creation, you know, stay out of that arena. That's what I'm saying because I do agree with you, Sam, that you're taking away from jobs, like the only jobs out there that are actually enjoyable to have in
Yes.
society.
Exactly.
Yeah, so don't even step into this arena, you know?
One
And
hundred
it's
percent agree.
unnecessary because we got covered and no one's going to buy a painting. Well, yeah, there will. I'm just saying it won't be a good painting because it'll have no soul behind
Exactly.
it. And it doesn't matter if it looks good, there's no story behind it too. And it just will yeah.
Exactly.
It's
And it won't ever be able to match the levels of human creativity. It just won't. Cuz like I said,
no, it won't because it's not human.
exactly. And just like I said with Joseph Campbell, he attempted to quantify what he had recognized through reading, you know, so many myths and legends from throughout human history and coming up with like these ideas of tropes or like storytelling techniques. But even then, those are subverted by human creativity and they make things that are amazing and that become the most popular thing that people like. I'm gonna butcher this quote, but I always think of Frank Zappa, the musician. No, it might not have been Frank Zappa. I can't remember the name of the musician, but
Okay.
he
What is it?
said he said people don't know what they want. It's pointless to try and make something that you think people would want. You have to make something for yourself until you're satisfied, and then that will become what people want. So if you think about anything that's popular that's broken the mold and done something new, they weren't looking at past things and saying, "This is popular. If I do XYZ like this other thing did, it will become my thing will be popular too." Which is what AI is right.
Yeah,
New
it can't create
creativity.
anything new. It can't.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's only recycling things.
Exactly.
It won't it can't, and that's, another thing that they're seeing a problem in it a problem with is it's just it hit a roadblock. It's already absorbed most of the internet, like, by scanning it all the time, and they're getting really good at making really high definition, super realistic photos. I've seen I saw a video that was AI generated of, like, Trump, Harris, like all the presidents that are still living and vice presidents out shooting guns and robbing like gas stations and stuff.
Sure, yep.
And so it's getting better at video, but it's going to eventually get so good at doing that because you can only make things so real, and then it just hits it plateaus. It can't create anything new until we start adding more to the internet. That's why I like companies that are going out against AI, which there's not very many,
Agreed.
honestly, because you can't survive as a company without AI. And honestly, not all of us use it. It's on every phone. You can't even, like you said, every search engine has it. I'm just talking about generative AI, like when it comes into content, images, and videos and sound. I don't like that.
I agree. That's why.
This voice cloning stuff's creepy.
But yeah, no, really weird. But that's why,
Super
like,
weird.
the company that I use, and I'm not trying to market anybody, but that I use to draw with on my iPad, Procreate. He came out and did the head of that company came out and did a statement that was staunchly against AI, and that's been his whole mission statement, is that he wanted to
Nice.
create a software that's similar to similar to drawing with the human hand and being as creative as possible, for artists. And I like that idea that he's not going to compromise, or he will compromise profits in what is, obviously becoming some new technological boom, in the effort of sticking with his mission statement, which is, he created a software
So
for artists.
I have a question for you since you're an artist. How do you protect your art online? I read something about a company called Glazed. I don't know if you used it, but I guess they like rearranged the artist's work in like in such a small degree that the human eye can't see it. But when AI sees it, like when they however AI scans this stuff or obtains it, it produces something that's not even that. It can't read it. It disfigures it so badly somehow. I don't understand the technology behind it, but that company's called Glaze. I didn't know if you use something like that, or do you do something to protect your stuff? Or is it just
So
impossible?
I've heard of Glazed, and I guess I'll say, I mean, perhaps, well, luckily and unluckily enough, I'm not social media focused enough to become popular enough to have an AI facsimile. I've definitely seen artists who have been ripped off totally from their style, the way they paint, the way they draw, the way they make characters or interpret characters that are popular.
Mhm.
You can see a lot of examples of their style being directly mimicked by these deep learning technology. And I just am not popular or social media savvy enough to be out there to where that's really much of an issue for me. If I ever get to that point where that's a thing, then I'll certainly look to technologies like Glaze, because I have heard of that,
Yeah.
which I'm glad that's out there to help protect artists, because it is just blatantly ripping them off.
But
Their
it can
style.
only do so much. I actually went to their website and I think it's really awesome that they exist, but
I agree.
there's like some things that you can't. And I think they can only like do so many like if you have so many different shades and stuff, you know what I mean? You would
Yeah,
understand that more. Like if it's to a higher degree, then that technology doesn't really work. The AI can still rip it off.
which I believe.
Insane.
It's insane and it's cheap. That's why they're getting sued, so often and
Except
by
for it's
so many
almost
different creatives.
impossible to prove that in court.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen, but there's examples of it even trying to rip off signatures from artists, and without
Yeah.
knowing, but then like applying that to their facsimile of that artist's style.
I've seen entire authors suing. My gosh, J.R.R. Martin, I believe, suing
George
because
R. R. Martin?
yes,
Yeah.
sorry, got Lord of the Rings and
They're both art
then mixed
artists.
up. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was inspired by Lord of the Rings or by Tolkien, so that's why I got mixed up. But
Hey, why not? I
yeah,
mean,
I just read that in an article, but that was in 2023. That article I read where I think he was suing. I don't know which AI company, but for ripping off his material.
yeah, there's a lot of creatives that are, like I said, you'd be very, very hard pressed to find creative people that are pro AI. It's just not. Because if you've made a painting or have been proud of something you've created, there's no matter how long it took you, you I think you'd be hard pressed to find a creative person that would want to commodify the problem solving aspect of making art. You know, it's like a puzzle, solving it, putting the pieces together until you're satisfied with it. Writing something, creating
Yeah,
that
it takes a
narrative.
lot of work to produce something from nothing.
Exactly.
So no, I completely hear what you're saying. And I don't know, I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions. So you after playing the demo, we pretty much know your feeling and sentiment on that. You don't care for it, you don't see its purpose. It's just useless. You don't see AI having any good purpose in gaming whatsoever.
No.
But you don't even see it like do you see it like being an aid maybe for people that are in gaming? I read like for example, I read somewhere that Star Wars, right? They have a huge franchise, right? And
Mhm.
they use AI just for organizing all the library of sounds, just for their library. So they
Okay.
could pull up a sound faster to match something. Are you opposed to things like that
I'm opposed. I
that can
so
help?
I'm opposed to. I'll say I'm pretty ignorant of the use of AI outside of what I find most controversial, which is where it takes away from human creativity. If
Mhm.
it's something, I mean, it's hard to find the point in that either, because I mean, who's to say that someone wouldn't find joy out of categorizing something, or find
Okay.
joy in getting paid to categorize something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or there are people who are professional researchers who you can hire to research a topic for you, or who find joy in doing that. I just think when humans can do it, when we already have been doing it, I don't I don't think that AI should be used to put someone out of a job that someone likes to do and generally is underpaid to do for the effort that goes into creative work
Mhm.
that's already being accomplished. And the things that AI is drawing off of were created by humans. We made those. That's made by the human hand and by creatives who, again, like I said, were underpaid. So I think even in like Marvel using it to like enhance an explosion, a
Mhm.
person could have been used to enhance that explosion because they already have done that. Like we've
They do say even in gaming that and even in coding that I believe it gets it wrong 15% to 20% of the time, and it's much more hackable when AI does it, as opposed to a human that goes through and codes it and
makes sense to
doesn't
me.
use it. And um, also, they say that graphics are even better done by the human hand than even AI can spit out because they just can't capture the essence of something correctly.
Absolutely, that makes sense to me.
So it was interesting to see that. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how AI progresses, but I agree with you, obviously, from what you've said and just from my last episode on AI. I think people knew what side I'm on.
For sure.
I'm all for it when it comes to like medical stuff and, as I said, the stems. But yeah, when it comes to art or
Oh, yeah, or like solving
creativity, no.
unsolvable mathematics problems. Like throw a computer on that to quantify all the
Why do we
pi.
exist?
Right. Exactly. Like throw them on that. Throw them on that. But I think there's even more useful philosophical questions that we should be asking anyway, besides beyond that pie in the sky type of questions that we could answer ourselves. I think we're focusing pouring this much money into AI whether you like it or not, it's hard to agree that that much money should be put into that technological advancement over, for example, curing cancer or, you know, cleaning a an unclean water source or,
But
how can we
some
grow
people would
crops
say that
better?
AI could be used to help cure cancer.
I'm sure some people would, but is it at the moment?
Some people have
Would it
already
be in
used
the future?
AI to find out more deadly ways to kill people,
See,
diseases even.
I'm just saying if AI could be used as a tool to help people discover those things, then invest in that as opposed to can AI make a cool background for my Instagram page? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, something not scary I saw is that they're going to start using AI to for politicians to spit out policies, so it knows what to best how we will react the best, which policy, so they can influence people better and get things passed.
which is insane. That's absolutely
Did we wanna hear
insane.
insane? I didn't know this. This was an article in 2017. I don't know where it was from. I read it. Do I have it here? Where is it? Gosh dang it. I can't remember where it was from, but I just remember that this article I read was 2017, and I can't remember where, but and I'm just saying this out of my top of my head that I didn't realize that the judicial system was already using AI to determine or to suggest prison sentence lengths to the crime.
Ugh,
And
that's
since it
horrible.
since it's an AI algorithm, this is what this article was all about was since it was an AI algorithm, it was already biased. It was racist because statistics show that
Yep.
that
I mean,
people of color are go into prison longer, and so that this machine would do that. And it
that's
was
horrible.
convicting people of longer sentences than what they should have got, and it is just insane. I didn't realize that was being used.
That's awful. That's awful. And well, that's the
That was
issue.
in 2017. I can't imagine what it's doing now.
But see, and then that's the problem is that why are we quantifying human experience to that degree? Like, what purpose does
Why
that
are
serve?
judges using that?
To take their hand out of having to judge someone's freedom is all I can
No,
think.
I think it's some lazy I don't know, man. Now I'm starting to become a little biased.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Don't get me
laziness for
started with
sure, but
the
like at the
judicial
same
system.
time, what is it always used for? I mean, drafting an email to your boss to sound more professional. You plug it
Yeah.
into ChatGPT, it's destroying your ability. It's robbing you the ability to learn how to do those things yourself.
No,
Which
it's
how did we build everything humanity's ever built? We've learned how to do it. We got it done. Removing that from future generations is such a detriment to people. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, you should know how to draft an email. You should take the time how to learn to write in whatever language you speak or most fluent in. You should learn how to use to professionally put together a sentence that's not just absolute gibberish. Like that's
mhm. Yeah, just don't
you
rely
should
on
learn how to
AI.
communicate with people. You know, we shouldn't have our attention spans robbed by 10-second clips online just because that makes somebody a lot of money. You know, you should be able to sit down and read a book. You should be able to. I think it's just a detriment to generations after us that this
No, I
technology is
fully
not
agree.
is gonna become more available and probably more popular, despite my opinions on it. And I think it's a detriment to human creativity.
Well, it's not going anywhere,
No, certainly not.
but I'm sure we'll start seeing a lot of things saying human made on it, you know,
I would
content
hope
wise.
so. I would hope so.
I can just see it going that way. I think it already is. So,
I
do you
agree.
have any final words on AI in gaming? bro?
I guess, yeah. Final words. Skip the Oasis game and just pick up Minecraft. It's an amazing game. You can actually build villages and kingdoms and mine carts and
Did you know
exercise.
did you know
Huh?
Oasis has a nickname?
What is it?
A dementia craft, because it can't remember anything. Did you
Dementia
try
craft.
I'm surprised, Sam, that when you broke that block, that it didn't morph into another world, because that's what happened to mine. Like,
Wow.
did you watch my video?
No, did you send it to me?
Well, it's on YouTube. Yeah, I sent it to you, but your phone wasn't working. I forgot.
Yeah, mine was having a hiccup.
Yeah, you need to check out my video, man, because I broke this block and it dissolved and it looked like an amorphous blob, like a
Yikes!
reddish, like clay blob, which turned out it was mimicking terracotta, and it morphed.
Yikes!
That block morphed into terracotta, and it became an entire Badlands biome with a pumpkin patch. And I ran over to the pumpkin patch, and you can see me in the video going, "Oh, it's a good thing I worship pumpkins in my kingdom." And
Yeah.
I go, "I'm going to break one," and so I tried to break one, and it turned into lava. The
Yikes!
pumpkins morphed into lava, and so I ran, and then I saw this thing out in the like a flicker of flame. I was like, "Something's on fire," and it was running. I think what it was trying to portray was a zombie on fire, maybe? I don't know.
Oh,
And it was running, and it fell on the ground, scattered, and morphed into magna blocks, which then turned into
geez.
pumpkins, and then they shifted into hay bales, and that was it.
What the heck?
Yeah, dude.
That's insane. See, what's the point? I don't understand the point of that.
People love it. No, I saw on Twitter,
Don't
people
understand.
were saying, "Even if you perfect this, please keep a version of this out there. I love this. This is the only thing I will ever play." I'm like, "What?
That is
How? Like,
100% untrue. That is
this would get"
100% untrue.
Yeah, that was a bot. Had to been a bot.
Well, I don't even think it was a bot. I believe it was a genuine person, but they didn't mean that at all. They were probably taken by the novelty of something that's like so unpredictable that you can't even really play it.
Well, yeah,
Just like someone that would watch like an annoying video and be like, "This is the only video I'll ever watch." Like that's hyperbole and
true,
well,
true.
if it is the only thing you play, then
It loses it would lose its
you
it would lose its excitement so fast.
I mean, you describing it to me, I'm like, that's just as what's the
It doesn't
point?
make it's not coherent. You
What's
can't
fun in
build
that?
anything. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how dude, I tried building I put down a fence. Did you try placing anything? Because I as well, Sam.
No,
I
I
as
couldn't even
well,
figure
my
it out.
inventory was shifting around. It was always different.
Yeah, I told you I started the game with some things in my inventory. I couldn't figure out how to pull them out or place them. Um, yeah, it's just kind of it's a hodgepodge. It's a mishmash of I don't understand the point of it. I guess it's cute for a novelty, but
Wait till it come 2.0 comes out.
I wish people luck with it. I'll just keep on playing Minecraft and hope they provide an update.
Well, where can they find you? I think you just made a new account at Blue Sky, and you're going to start putting your art there, aren't you?
I did, yeah. I started putting some stuff up there. I'm not going to be as prolific again. I'm not very social media savvy. But you can find me at SamHWRD22 on Instagram and the same on Blue Sky. If you're interested in reading a little free comic that I did, it's all up there on my Instagram and it's being put out on Blue Sky daily.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's called Loincloth. I think you
Loincloth.
posted
Yeah.
Loincloth 5, so that's your 5th one you posted.
Yeah, fifth page.
Nice.
I'm working on a longer form graphic novel that I'm one chapter away from completing. So look forward to that, everybody. If you like Loincloth, Loincloth is it's a comedy comic that I made during the pandemic, and it's very free form thought. and hopefully just very funny and entertaining. There's nothing
No, it's
really
really
heavy in
neat.
there. So if you're looking for a little escape, it's hopefully a fun comic for everyone. But yeah, check it
No,
out.
it's really cool. Everybody go check that out. Yeah, no, it's really neat. I'm actually looking at right now on your Blue Sky account. I can see it. Yeah, it is
Thanks,
funny.
bro.
No, I love that. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show and you giving us your opinion on AI and how and your thoughts on, well, your thought is it shouldn't be in it shouldn't be in anywhere in the creative world. So just stay
Yeah.
out, you say.
Yeah,
And
thanks for
I
having
agree
me.
with you.
Hopefully, I didn't ramble too much for everyone. Go listen to the much more condensed news flash that the Dark Lord put out last
It is really
week.
condensed, and that's why I wanted to do this one, and you being an artist, I wanted you to be on the show and get your opinion because I know a lot of artists, like as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, are upset with Twitter allowing AI to run rampant and take all of the tweets and analyze it for consumption, which includes images. And so artists posting their images there were upset. And so they were flocking over to Blue Sky. I think Twitter lost half a million. Well, now X,
X.
they lost half a million in a day or overnight to
Yikes.
Blue Sky. And I've noticed that it's just it's so nice not to have the bots there.
That
And
is it's great.
yeah,
Well,
it's
I will say this too. You know, I maybe just a large aspect of people that support AI are more into like internet culture and things like that because I think just
mhm.
when we were how we were raised and when we were raised we didn't really take off with the young YouTube or internet culture
I
um,
understand that,
as
but
much as I
we've
would
been
like.
around since the birth of all that.
It's true. It's just well, me personally, I have not did not keep up on it and did not was not a in on the ground floor with all that. So if it's something pertaining to that, I can understand. But
I say
yeah,
AI is great for stems. I'll leave it at that. Stay out of creative spaces.
stay
The
out of
end.
creative spaces. Leave us alone.
Yes. That's all I have today, and I can't wait to have you on next time. Maybe next time we'll get into what you're building in your world and whatnot, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you want me on, just let me know. I'm always happy to hop on and help out the Dark Lord.
Well, bro, I appreciate it, and you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming back to Realm News.
Thank you.
Hello, Minecraftians. Thank you so much for listening to Realm News. It means the world to me that you enjoy the show that much that you tune in every week to hear how I put the real in Realm and expand your mind one block at a time. Well, if you really enjoy this podcast and want to express it further, then you can contribute by simply following the show by clicking that follow button, or write a review and rate the show, or do all three of those. I love the feedback, and that would help me get to my goal of 100 followers. We're currently, as airing this one right now, at 40 followers, which is great. But let's just get 60 more and get to 100. I think that would be just marvelous. You can even go a step further by making a monetary donation to support the show by going to bio.link slash realmnews, all lowercase. Again, that's bio.link slash realmnews. And click on that Ko-Fi button and buy me a coffee. You can donate as little as $1. The money really goes a long ways, folks, and helps perpetuate the show. I have plans to create a website one day so Realm News can be more accessible and interactive with our amazing community that's amassing. And websites cost a little bit and to maintain and run those. So all is very much appreciated, truly, and happy crafting.